Are you always angry with your twin flame? Thinking, why are they treating me like this? Or how can they treat me like this? Why are they running? Why are they ghosting? They're a fucking asshole. This kind of stuff. If you're constantly in aggression towards them, this is going to drive them further away. But you have to learn compassion. They're going through shit as well. They're not running because they don't love you. They're running because they're in pain. And they're going through an awakening as well, which is tough. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, we're so quick to blame our twin flame for everything that we're going through. And I said this before, our triggers are our guides. So if our twin flame is triggering us, that means there's something within us that needs to be healed from the past. And if we're triggering them, that's the same thing. It's their shit that they need to heal. But we can be very quick to blame them and be angry towards them. And I know that when I go through the roller coaster, the bipolar energy, for example, if I go through a phase of that unworthiness when picking up again, I will be angry towards him and I will be upset towards him, and I'm like, how can you be such a dick? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's effectively how I feel, but like it's just because I've been triggered, and it takes me a while to come back down because I have to heal my energy around that. But I have to realize that they're going through shit as well. Like, this isn't easy for either of us, but it's mirrored energy. You know what I mean? Like, we're quick to think, okay, they're getting on with their life. They're ignoring me. They're happy. They're doing this. They're ignoring, they're not choosing me, but their life is fine. This isn't true. So they might look busy in their life, but if they're ever excessively busy or getting on with life effectively, they're avoiding their healing and they're avoiding their pain. They're running from something. They're not just running from you. They're running from the pain. They're running from the trauma. They're running from the triggers. But they're also going through an awakening. And it's not easy. And I've said this before, I've been going through my awakening since 2018. And I've had my awakening kind of stretched out. And I'm still going through it. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly ascending. But it was stretched out. And I know myself, the first few years of my awakening were fucking crazy. They were crazy, but it was over a few years of complete and utter craziness. Do you know what I mean? So I had my bipolar episodes in a sense, and I had my dark night of the soul episodes, and I was healing and growing and expanding and researching all the time, but it was hard. It was fucking hard, but it took a long time, and it's still continuing. But can you imagine this? Because the timelines have shifted or what have you, and when you met your twin flame, what I mean is timing was accelerated effectively. So you might have had since 2018 to do what they have to do in a shorter period of time. We forget this. The less awakened twin is going through what we went through, but really fucking quickly. Really quickly. Because everything is sped up now. So for example, not just your twin flame, but anyone that was slow to awaken. Anyone that was slow to just listen to their intuition and listen to their truth. Because this is it. Spiritual awakening isn't fucking woo-woo. It's literally waking up to the truth of why you're here on this planet. The truth of the lies that we've been conditioned to believe. The truth to escape the matrix and all that kind of stuff. So, we've been in... you know what it's like as well. So when we first start to awaken, you're the first person and the only person, really, of your environment that is awakening. So, your parents, your peers, your work environment, no one understands the word spirituality. And I remember my friends thinking it was this cult mentality. Well, if it works for you. And it was just yeah, it is working. If I can become, I used to drink, smoke, take drugs, party all the time. And I was starting to give up, for me to give up alcohol, it was a fucking miracle. I was what the fuck is going on here? But if you, my friends were literally kind of what's wrong with her? You know what I mean? But yeah, everything I did was making me better. If you watch the people, this is so funny. If you watch the people, say if you watch somebody spiritually awakening and you see that they're doing meditation or they're doing this and they're not drinking as much and they're more mindful about themselves and they're looking after themselves, they're evolving and they're growing, would you not actually turn around and go, Jesus, I want what she's having? Do you know that kind of way? But no, they look at you and go, she's a fucking weirdo. And I'm I've just broken out of, what? I don't drink and party anymore, so I'm a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? And it's we literally get treated like fucking lepers when we awaken and our environment isn't awakening with us. So that's hard. And like, I know how hard it is, right? Because I've been there, right? Where, you know, the people you once asked for advice, who always gave you good advice, your best friends, like, and then you start asking them for advice on your spiritual journey and they give you the wrong advice and you're just like looking at them going, I know I should trust you because all of your advice has been solid, but I don't believe you. And you literally have to fight between your intuition and your best friends and your family and everyone around you. And you're literally in this energy of push-pull, stretchy energy. And you're literally, and this is the hardest part of awakening and escaping the matrix and all that, is the only person you can really trust is yourself. That's all. You cannot trust anyone who's not awakening. And that's a fact. So can you imagine, like, you took a long time to understand that, to escape that, to do that. But I don't even know how I managed that. Like, you know, I just walked away from everyone and just bye. Do you know what I mean? And like, your twin flame is doing this now, but they're fucking petrified. This crazy person comes into their life. Crazy. I'm not crazy. Am I? This different person comes into their life. This spiritually awakened person. This person that's so different to their normal type. This person who's into awakening and spirituality and into things that they've, you know, been curious about but never really, you know, spoken about or done anything about. And like this different person comes into their life and then they're like comparing this person to their old life and they're like, oh my God, like, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, what the fuck do I do? And it's like, if I told my parents about this new person, or if I told my friends about this new person, they're going to think I'm a weirdo because she doesn't look like my normal type, or they don't look like my normal type. And it's just like, if I told my friends and family that I was spiritually awakening, they were like, you're a fucking weirdo. Do you know what I mean? Just get back in your box. And that's exactly what happens. And this is the hardest part. As I said, you know, one of the hardest things is when you do ask somebody who's not awakened for spiritual advice, they're like looking at you like you've got fucking 10 heads. So your twin flame is effectively going through this isolation period where they're, you know, the people around them are becoming alien. But they're afraid to jump towards you because they're like, because you know what it's like. We had to walk away from everyone. We had to go into hermit mode. We had to go into isolation. And that's fucking lonely. And there is that moment of, if I walk away from people, I'm going to be on my own. You know, what if I'm wrong about this? What if I'm fucking crazy? What if I end up walking away from everyone and burning all my bridges and I have no way back? What happens if I'm alone forever? And this happened for me. Like, I had to walk away from friends. Then I had to walk away from family. And then I was literally in the energy of, I hate the universe. I'm so angry with you. Why the fuck did you abandon me? I have nothing. What do I do? But then when I started to heal, I realized I had to be isolated for purpose path. Like, if you're continuously around people who are not awakening and you're trying to figure out your purpose and trying to figure out your truth and trying to heal your wounds, they're going to pull you back down. They're going to drain your energy and they're going to plant seeds of doubt. They're going to tell you you're fucking crazy. So, like, you literally have to be so mindful of who you speak to in your environment and who you open up to. And oftentimes it ends up being that you don't ask anyone for advice and then you have to trust yourself. We haven't been able to trust it in the conditioned reality. We don't know what intuition is. We don't know how to fucking decipher between the ego and the soul. And we're literally, there's two voices in our heads going, do the right thing, go back to your old life. Do the right thing, go back to your old life. And it's like, which do you listen to? The thing you're familiar with, the thing you've known your whole life, the family, the friends, the environment you've known your whole life, the comfortableness of it, the familiarity, as I said, or this completely unknown path. Because, you know, the path to the past, it's there. It's been worn down millions of times. I know it goes off a cliff, did I tell you that? But, like, you know, you could go down that path because, you know, at least you can see in front of you. Whereas when you walk the purpose path, you only see a step ahead. And every time you take a step, you might see a step further. You can't see the path. And it's fucking scary. There's no map for you. So, like, trusting yourself and trusting your intuition is scary. It is really scary. But can you imagine, you know what it was like when you went through it. But can you imagine that's what your twin flame is going through now? And not only that, they're bombarded with really intense feelings for you. This spiritual connection that they've never ever experienced before. And then they're dealing with their past relationship stuff as you are. And they're like, you know, if I fall in love too quickly, I'm going to get trapped. Or if I let them control the narrative, or if I lose control, that's another thing. They're afraid to lose control as well. because you have control over well, you don't really have control over your own life. You actually have more control over your spiritual life. To be honest, once you control your thoughts, you can control your life. But they're in this fear-based energy. It's like if I go forward into this unknown path, I lose control. You know what I mean? And like, I know it sounds weird actually, because you don't have control over your purpose path, but you also have control. I know it sounds weird. It's like it's completely unknown, and the universe kind of works everything for you. But yet you're still in that power energy. Like, this is the thing. We think that it is uncontrollable, but it's still control. I don't know how to say that. Like, because, you know, we do lose control on our purpose path, but we gain control as well. I don't know. That's kind of what I mean. Like, you've more control on your purpose path, even though it's out of your control. That's kind of what I mean. You've less control on your original path. And this is another thing, like, there's obstacles after obstacles. You're hitting obstacles after obstacles. So they're going to be going through tower moment after tower moment until they listen to their soul. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be going through obstacles, tower moments, intense feelings, going through all that work, going through all that inner awakening, going through all the shit that you're going through effectively. But they have no idea what they're doing. And neither does you. You do now, but they don't really have, like, unless they're researching. Because when I started awakening, Google was my best friend. It was like, literally, what the fuck is going on? Any little bit of anything, it was like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I became a fucking nerd. Because you just research. The only way you're really going to get to the bottom of things is by researching. Research what you're going through. Research spiritual awakening. Research the feelings you're going through. Research twin flame connections. The amount of research I've done. You know what I mean? Because the only really person you can get advice from is online through research and your own intuition and your own soul. And if you meet like-minded communities online that will be able to tell you or help you along your path. But effectively, what I'm saying here is we need to start to hold more compassion. We can, and this goes both ways. If we're not compassionate towards ourselves, we're not compassionate towards our twin flame. And often we can lose compassion for ourselves because we're angry with ourselves as well. And this is actually important. Anything you feel towards your twin flame, take a moment and ask yourself, is this actually what you're feeling towards yourself? Because that anger, that resentment, that pain, that's coming back to something that's within you. So what is that? You know, if you're angry towards them, you're not angry with them because they didn't, you know, they're not causing your pain. Your past caused your pain. So everything that you feel towards them, you need to bring back to yourself. So you need to hold compassion for both you and them. And that's so important. You know, compassion for your growth, your healing. Be patient with yourself. Because I've heard so many people saying, like, I've been on this journey I've done so much healing, like, as if to say, I'm healed now. Like, you know, I've done years of healing, so it's grand. No, if you're still, you know, if you even think that you're fully healed, you're definitely not fully healed. Because I know I'm not fully healed. We're still fucking healing, all of it. Do you know what I mean? And like, it doesn't matter how long you're on the journey. You know, you could be on the journey 10 fucking years. But yeah, if you're not doing, you might be doing the work, but in a slower pace or whatever, a slower pace. And therefore there's still more to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, your wounds are deep. It's past relationships, past childhood. It's past lives. You know, it's so much shit that you're healing. You know what I mean? It's ancestral trauma as well. So you're healing a lot. So the longer it takes means that the deeper the wounds. And we're healing in layers as well. Do you know, and oftentimes on the journey, if it takes longer, it's because you're avoiding. You know what I mean? You can say, I was doing a lot of healing, but every time, guaranteed, if the healing comes back up, we've done this so many times, it heals in layers, right? And then the second time your shit comes back up and you're like, no, fuck that, I healed that, go bye, no. And you literally refuse to heal it. So that means you're burying the next layer. So until you actually start to understand that you heal in layers and that a certain one wound ain't going to come up once and it's going to go away, it's going to come up a lot of fucking times. And it's going to get harder every time. No, it's going to get deeper every time, but you get stronger every time, so you're able to handle it. So understand that, like, you know, we're both healing for a reason. The longer separation takes is because you're both doing the work. So be compassionate towards yourself and be kind towards yourself and understand that you're healing in layers as well. But show that compassion towards them. Because guaranteed, right? You know, if you're showing anger, resentment, blame towards a twin flame, there's going to be a disconnect. Obviously, there's a disconnect anyway because of there's no communication because you're both healing. But there's going to be a disconnect because in the 5D, and I've noticed this, when I'm angry with my twin flame, or when I'm not really angry with him, when I'm going through my shit and I have a wound to heal, I disconnect from him on the 5D. It's not deliberate. I don't like go cut this off. But when I'm angry and hold that anger and resentment towards myself and to him, there is a disconnect on the 5D. And this is the energy that we feel when it feels like, is this over? Have I lost them? Why don't I feel them right now? You know what I mean? I'm so emotional and all I can feel is pain. But then when you start to heal what you're going through, you reconnect again on the 5D. And you've always been connected on the 5D, but it feels stronger. So this is the thing. When you're holding compassion towards them and towards yourself, the 5D communication gets louder again. And that's what I've been feeling the last few days. I went through a period of real disconnect. Do you know what I mean? On the 3D and the 5D, and it was horrendous. It was really confusing, and I didn't know what way I was going. I just had no fucking idea. I just felt completely lost and isolated and disconnected from in the 5D. I just felt like it was gone. I thought it was over, like. And now I can feel him come back through the 5D again, because I'm holding compassion again. I'm not in anger anymore. I'm not in resentment, and I'm healing those wounds that made me that way anyway. So when we do open our heart, and that's it, when we're in pain, our heart is closed. So our connection feels closed. The telepathy feels closed. But when we heal and we continue to heal, our heart opens again. We have more compassion for ourselves and we have more compassion for them. And that's when the connection gets louder again. It gets louder on the 5D first, and then it will get louder on the 3D again. But this is why it's so important to remind yourself that they're going through shit as well. They're not having it easy. They're not going through, they're not breezing through life. There's shit happening around them as well. There's shit happening within them as well. The same, like you're going through shit, they're going through shit. So, instead of being angry towards them, know that if you're in pain, they're in pain as well. And that compassion, that open heart energy can lead to more harmony, both in 5D telepathic communication, and it will eventually lead to union in the 3D as well. It's just about keeping your heart open, trusting in the process, but holding compassion towards what they're going through as well, because they are doing the work. If you are, so are they. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. Loves nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. And I'm also hosting a feminine empowerment workshop on the 8th of April at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time. This will be a safe space for us ladies to get together, to heal, share, and grow together. This workshop will be around self-discipline equals self-respect. If you want information for that, please comment below.